let's make some chicken tikka masala. So I used some chicken thighs that were boneless and skinless. Added a 1/4 cup of plain yogurt, Greek yogurt in this case. 2 teaspoons of garam masala. 2 teaspoons of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander. And of course the chicken. In retrospect, I should have taken the yogurt in a separate bowl and added all those spices to it, mixed it together, and then applied it to the chicken. But where's the fun in that? Let's just add it all in the same bowl together and have difficulty stirring it up, which I did. So here you go. Just watch me struggle stirring it up. Whatever. But after you get all that done, finally, then you can put it in a sealed container and put it in the fridge. I put it in the fridge overnight and let it marinate and all that goodness. Like so. And thankfully, I edited the video so that you don't have to watch it marinate overnight. We can just kind of skip that part. You're probably already tired of watching me put it in the bowl to be marinated, but I chose to leave that in there for some reason. But it's okay. It finally went in the fridge. And the next day, I lit a fire on the grill and watched it burn. And while that was getting those coals ready, I went back into the house and started making the sauce, because those coals have to burn down a bit. So into our saucepan, I put a little bit of oil, about 3 tablespoons, I guess. And then I added an onion I chopped up. And I'll let that get brown. I stirred it occasionally and just let it cook. And thankfully I did edit this down a little bit so we don't have to watch that whole thing. Then I added some Serrano chilies. I could have added another type, but these are the ones I had, so that's what went in there. And that was probably about 4 Serrano chilies. And then that was some garlic I chopped up, about 6 or so cloves. And I just kept mixing and cooking and letting it cook, and then keep stirring. Then I added my spices, which included a teaspoon of cumin and 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'll let that get fragrant. As you can see, I scraped the bottom of the pan and I added about 1/4 cup of water and stirred that around a little bit to deglaze the bottom of the pan, and added a whole can of crushed tomatoes and a little bit of water to wash the can out, and let that stirred that up and let it simmer. And while that was simmering, after that, I went outside and put my chicken on the grill. that was now hot, and the coals had burned down sufficiently. Then I turned it over, and then I took it off once it was done. Took about 30 minutes to cook the chicken. And I chopped it up and put it into my sauce. Something like that. And I stirred that up. And I let it simmer some more. Then I poured about a half a cup of heavy cream into it and stirred that up. And then just let that simmer while I made and cooked some naan bread. I think it's so delightful to watch it cook. Of course, you can't really enjoy it because you're having to roll out more naan to go into the pan once that naan is done. I also put some garlic butter on this after I got them done. And nothing like fresh naan bread with garlic butter. Also, while all that other was doing, I made some rice to put that over. And there it is. My chicken tikka masala with naan. Garlic butter naan.